Hello investors, welcome to Simpli Stocks. In today's video, we will study a trending small cap business, Ashapura Minechem. Ashapura Minechem has been performing quite well for the last 6 months and many interesting things are happening in this business, which is why today I have brought a separate dedicated video on it in which we will understand Ashapura's business model properly. We will study the main triggers in this business. Along with that, we will also discuss the company's growth plans and what risks you should keep in mind if you are interested in this business. But yes, as a standard disclaimer, this video is not a buy or sell recommendation on Ashapura in any way. You must keep this in mind. With that, let's get started. Ashapura is from minerals and mining sector. This company has been into the mining and processing of minerals like bentonite, kaolin and bleaching clay in India. Bentonite is used in many sectors like foundries, construction and oil and gas. It is used to make industrial binders in these sectors. Similarly, kaolin clay is used in rubber, glass, tires, etc. And bleaching clay is used to refine edible oils so that impurities can be removed from them. The company processes these products and exports them to more than 70 countries across the world. Ashapura is India's largest and world's third largest company that manufactures bentonite and allied minerals. And Ashapura is not a new company actually. They have been in this business for a long time. But Ashapura recently came into focus because of its Guinea business. Ashapura Minechem has 2 bauxite mines in Guinea and 3rd iron ore mine is under development. Guinea is a big trigger for Ashapura. It is a small country in West Africa, roughly as big as Uttar Pradesh in size. And the special thing here is that there are very high reserves of bauxite here. Bauxite is the ore of aluminium, which means aluminium is made by processing bauxite. You can see in this screenshot that bauxite reserves of about 7,400 million tons are there in Guinea. China, Guinea and Australia have the world's most bauxite reserves. Apart from this, some mining also happens in Brazil, Indonesia and India. But there is a problem with bauxite mining. Such red sludge comes out during the process, which is not good for the environment. And mining anyway causes damage to the environment, right? That is why Australia, Malaysia and Indonesia are reducing bauxite mining and exports. Indonesia has even put a ban on bauxite exports. China has to import bauxite despite having its own reserves because of the high consumption. It consumes the most aluminium in the entire world and imports about 200 million tons of bauxite every year. Therefore, bauxite production is shifting from Indonesia, Brazil and Australia to Guinea. And Guinea is becoming the preferred destination or supplier for China. The demand for aluminium is growing at about 4 to 6% every year, not very fast. But China's own bauxite imports are growing at a rate of 10-15%, which means that although sector is not growing very fast, but supply chain is shifting. Just like we saw after COVID, that many companies moved away from China and started sourcing chemicals from India. And we saw a decadal supply chain shift. Now the same thing is happening here. But there is a challenge in doing business in Guinea. That is, it is not a very developed country. Here, the infrastructure is not that good, which means road, bridges, ports, etc. are not in very good condition. The companies that come to do business in Guinea, its government gives them licenses, but it does not invest in infrastructure for them. So they have to develop the entire infrastructure by themselves. And Ashapura has taken about 9 to 10 years to set up the business in Guinea, from identifying the opportunity to securing the mining licenses, and they have built roads, bridges and ports by themselves in Guinea so that they can mine and export bauxite from there. Until now, Ashapura has spent about $125 million or nearly 1,000 crore rupees on the development of Guinea business. And now finally the company has started getting a return on this investment. Ashapura has 2 operational mines in Huda and Bofa. The 3rd mine for iron ore is about to start in Yamboli within 4 to 6 months. They have also constructed 370 km of roads to bring the material to ports from these mines. Then via their GSM, Bofa and Konta ports, they export this bauxite to China. Ashapura has licenses to run these mines for more than 10 to 12 years. Now a humble request, if you are liking this video so far, do give me a thumbs up. Also, you can subscribe to our channel Simpli Stocks, where we bring multiple such videos every week. Honestly, your likes and subscribes are our only motivation so that we keep bringing such high quality research to you for free. So do like this video, and yes, also subscribe to our channel. Now, coming back to our discussion, we will now look at Ashapura's performance as their mines have started functioning recently and they are increasing their production and exports. You can see that in Q1, which means the months of April, May and June, they exported about 2 million tons of bauxite, and in Q2, which are the months of July, August and September, their export decreased slightly to 1.33 million tons. Guinea is situated near the equator and it sees monsoons for 4 to 5 months. So mining activity slows down from Q2 onwards. At the same time, because bauxite is a bulky material, if it gets wet, then it becomes difficult to transport and costs increase. And wet bauxite also sells cheaper. Therefore, Q2 and Q3 will be weak quarters for Ashapura, and Q4 and Q1 will be the best. Roughly, we can say that currently the company is running at an export rate of 2 metric tons per quarter or 8 metric tons per year. And their target is that by FY28, meaning the year after the next, they should be exporting about 15 metric tons of bauxite, which translates into very good 40% CAGR growth. Apart from this, their iron ore business, which is currently under development, will start in 2 to 3 quarters, and in the future, it will also contribute to the profit. And at one end, we are seeing the companies working on increasing production and exports. On the other hand, it is also increasing the handling capacity of their ports. They currently have the capacity to export 16 million tons of material, and they will increase it to 27 metric tons in the next 4 to 6 months. Last year, as there were no bauxite sales, but this year there are. That is why the sales growth has been very good in Ashapura. You can see that in 6 months from April to September, sales increased by 75% compared to last year. A growth of 105% was seen in EBITDA, or you can say that EBITDA has almost doubled. Similarly, a 112% growth was seen in profit before tax. So these are very good numbers for Ashapura. But yes, their performance went slightly down in Q2 if we compare it with Q3. Because as I told you, Q2 is a seasonally weaker quarter. But one more thing that worked against the company is that bauxite prices fell slightly in Q2, which put pressure on EBITDA. Usually, bauxite is not a volatile commodity, but the risk of commodity price movements will remain, which you should keep in mind. But overall, Ashapura Minechem is a good emerging business in which we can see a good tailwind for the next 2 to 3 years, because the bauxite supply chain is shifting from Australia, Indonesia, etc. to Guinea. Now, even after such a rally, there is a valuation comfort here. You will see this business is currently trading at a PE of 20. But in my understanding, the opportunity here will be limited to earnings growth. If PE expansion happens, it is good, but I personally feel the scope for that is a bit low. The reason for this is that businesses with foreign operations, usually Africa, etc., do not get a premium PE. Geopolitical, political, and currency risks always remain in these businesses. We saw currency risk in UniHealth too a year and a half ago. UniHealth used to have a business in Nigeria, but when Nigeria's currency was devalued, that entire division was ruined. Therefore, if you have a portfolio business with foreign operations, you will have to keep tracking the political, geopolitical, and economic situation of the respective country where it operates. Apart from this, another risk in Ashapura is that their entire bauxite business comes from Chinese companies to whom they supply bauxite. They are also working with China Rail in their mines so that efficiency can increase there. Although many of India's own supply chains are dependent on China, no doubt, if any risk does happen, geopolitical risk related to China, then I believe it can affect Ashapura's business as well. And the third and last risk on which I will emphasize the most is that this is entirely a commodity business. Bauxite mining is a small cost. Most of the expense in Ashapura is for freight, logistics, or transportation. First, they have to transport bauxite from their mines to the port, and then it reaches China via shipping routes. So if bauxite prices go up or down significantly, or if shipping freight rates go up or down, margin pressure will hit Ashapura. Therefore, along with Guinea's political and economic scenario, you will also have to keep tracking bauxite rates and shipping freight rates. But yes, overall, this is a good business right now, trading at a PE of 20. Growth is good. You can study it yourself once. Now, at the end, I want to say, if you did not like the video earlier, please do it now. And you can also subscribe to our channel Simply Stocks. If you support us by liking and subscribing to this channel, we will be able to bring more such analysis for you every week. I will see you in the next video. Happy investing.